We got round 2 of vlogging with us.
Numero dos.
So get excited. It's probably going to be way worse than the first one, but that's okay. So today, we were actually talking to Andrew's mom, and we were telling her all about our first date and everything that led up to that event. And so we thought we'd talk about it with you guys and tell you about what happened, how it all went down.
But she gets to go first because I got the better details.
Or should we just fill in?
No.
Okay.
How you do it? Go on.
I don't know. What do you think?
Nah, let's do it the same time.
Okay. I'm always right. Okay, so what happened was...
Okay, let's start. I got to start this because it starts with me. So I'm at work, and I had a buddy at work that we were just talking. We're out doing something for lunch. One of the days we weren't working, and we're just sitting there. And he asked me, he said, "Hey, are you dating anyone?" I'm like, "No, I'm not right now." And he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And he something smacked him across the face. He's like, "I just got the biggest chills I've ever had in my life." He's like, "I have someone I want you to date." And I'm just sitting there. I've been set up enough times. I'm like, yeah, no big deal, whatever. He's like, "No, you'll like her." And he's like, "Oh, you have a 3-year-old, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he told me, "Yeah, she has she has a 3-year-old." I can't talk tonight.
Okay.
I'm going on 3 hours of sleep. This is a long, and it's 10:30. So we both have kids, and he's like, "Oh, this is awesome. You got to do it." So I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "So let me see a picture," because we're in the age where we can stalk people before we actually go on blind dates. So they're not that blind anymore. And so I see her. I'm like, "Whoa, okay, I'm in, 100%. I'm in." And so I'm like, "We'll tell her, show her a picture, find out if she's interested, and then we'll do it." And so I was kind of pretending like I wasn't super into it because I didn't want to be that guy, and I don't want to be too gun ho about it. So we get inside, and I kind of walked around and see where he was doing, and then he finally caught me at the end of the workday. He's like, "Hey, she saw your picture, she's in." I'm like, "Oh, perfect." So he gave me her number, and and I usually text because it's easier, but I was just like, "No, this girl's awesome," and I didn't check out her blog because I didn't want to learn too much about her before our first date, and so I was like, I want to go in straight up. You're gonna see her kids in a minute.
It's 7 p.m. It's not late.
Not at all. So I ended up, I asked her, I'm like, "Hey, what should I do? Should I call or text?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll text." I sent her a text and say, "Hey, I'll call you after work." And so she sent me a text back, and so I called her after work, super nervous, and she talked a million miles an hour. It was awesome. Probably the easiest ask out I've ever had in my life.
Okay, it's called Word Vomit, which I did with him, and I was starting to tell him random stories. We were talking about marathon training, and I don't know, I went off for a long time. Weird, who would have thought? And he finally was like, "Okay, great, well, I'll see you on Tuesday," or whatever. He had to cut me off because I wouldn't stop talking.
No, I wasn't how it went. But I had the whole because I didn't date when I had Knox because that's when it's my time with him, and so my times date were very limited. That was just one of my rules I had. So Tuesday worked out perfect. I ditched my softball guys on Tuesday night. It was well worth it. But so he said something for Tuesday. She's going to San Francisco for the weekend, and so that was kind of it. We didn't talk or anything. And Tuesday came.
Well. So, I'll tell you, when
Guess
Nolan...
what I found?
Hey, do you want to come say hi first? Ricky, you want to come say hi? What'd you find?
The radio.
Radio from the 90s.
You found a radio. Full-on radio. That's very special.
You say hi?
Hi.
Where's Ricky?
Guess what? It looks like it's blue.
It does.
It's black.
It's very black. It's Batman. Good job. Well, I'm glad you found the CD player. That's
Guess
needed.
what?
What?
I don't know how to get this off. Can you help us? It needs a new radio.
Sure. Yeah.
Guess what? Let me check in here.
No timeouts from your parents.
Okay. So, it's funny because I was kind of taking a break from dating. I think I told you guys that a little bit ago. And so I was getting lots of random people wanting to do setups for me, and I was just kind of burnt out on dating. And so I didn't even open
No,
any of the
it says
messages really.
this
But then
one.
this kid, Nolan, from like,
That you need this.
You put it in the bed.
okay, hold on, we'll be back.
We're gonna put
Hold
him to
that
bed.
thought.